Welcome to the slouch theory. Oh, slouch theory. Slouching. Slouching.
Yeah. That's cashews I'm chewing right now. What the fuck you know about cashews, nigga? Shit. This dude is picking his fucking nose. Ding!
Yeah.
What up, bro?
Hello.
Got the smoke going? I feel you.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke. Trying to look professional.
With the smoke? Smoke makes you look professional?
Yeah, well, ironically, no, which is why I was saying it.
I mean, it doesn't make you unprofessional. It's not like it's a horrible thing. People smoke. Especially now, I feel like smoking has gone up.
Yeah, I think so too. But I guess I am, I don't want to look to other people like just some stoner dude, which is pretty hard to make me not look that way.
Because you are very much that.
Exactly. And so, a lot of negative association comes with being a stoner dude, like you're just lazy, not hardworking, not driven, wasting their life.
Okay.
All those.
Damn, I didn't know it was like that. I mean,
Well,
I've heard those connotations before. Actually, you know what? You're right. You're 100% right. I've definitely heard that where it's like, if you smoke weed, you're a bum.
It's
I've
like,
heard
yeah. Well, there's some people who smoke weed who are like, and they're amazing. And so they smoke weed and they're amazing. And so people say, oh, well, it's perfectly okay to smoke weed because amazing people do it. And like Chappelle's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And he smokes a lot of weed.
Snoop Dogg.
Right. Snoop Dogg's amazing. Seth Rogen is amazing.
Seth Rogen, Wiz Khalifa, Currency.
That's right.
A bunch of rappers. Fuck.
But then there's also the dudes that do it on McDougal.
That's the thing. It's a wide range of who counts as a smoker and their activities. Like, there's some super bum dudes, dirty weed. Even the way they go about getting their shit is foul. It's like,
right. Well, they don't have the connections that Chappelle would have, like to.
All right, yeah. So that's another thing. So depending on where you are at, I guess social status wise, financially, I think those are the only two metrics that count, right?
Yeah.
Then that would dictate what your access to weed is, or if you live in a fucking a good state.
Yeah. Well, dude,
I can only imagine if I had a good dispensary close by. Oh my God.
You don't have that? Where do you in Jamaica?
Fucking no. There's a dispensary, Dean, in New York City, in Queens, Dean.
I went
recreational.
I bought some weed from at Washington Square Park, so I assume it's everywhere.
All right, yes. No. See?
Like they had like a stand set up, like it was a stand.
Yeah, you bought it from a dude.
Yeah.
On the street.
Yeah, his name was like DeMonte or something. He was cool.
Very weed name. You bought it from a dude on the street. That's different.
I'm like, listen, you can't tell people it's DeMonte. Going forward, it's gonna ruin
DeMonte. What should be the man's name?
I don't know, just like Slick. Like one of those like gangster cool names, like
DeMonte not enough?
I don't know.
He don't gotta be a gangster. He's selling weed at Washington Square Park. That's not.
I know.
Hey, you know what? This is all hypothetical. DeMonte may or may not be a real person. We are allegedly trying to get this man in trouble, Dean. Ain't nothing happening to the.
I gave him the business, dude. I told him.
That sounds like either you fucked him or fight him. I gave him the business. Like, what?
I did everything. I had sex with him, and I
And beat him up and bought weed.
and I bought weed. It was
That's too much, actually. You gotta
yeah.
relax.
Well,
How
you know,
long
I
you
like
smoking now,
making.
Dean?
I started like, well, I started in middle school, like 8th grade,
Oh
and
shit,
I
man.
didn't. Yeah, I was pretty young, and I definitely did it to be cool. But then I started doing it, and then I thought I was getting high, but I definitely wasn't getting high because
Okay.
like that's what happens to you when you start. If you're bad at it, is like you just think you're getting high, and then you're not, and then eventually what happens is you finally smoke one day, then you are high, and you're
Yeah.
like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Like, because you have to prep yourself for the first time, like you have, and then
Mind blown.
you have to like know that something's gonna happen, and if you, so it's bad if you think you already know what's gonna happen, and then it
And
finally
then it
happens.
actually happens, yeah.
So that fucked with me, dude. So I smoked that. I remember that this story being that I did that and just fucking lost my shit. It was horrible. I was like panicking all day, and
It was
I
an
had a really
all day thing. Like you was stressed out,
all
fucked up
day,
all day.
all day. And then in high school, it got even worse because I still kept trying to get like, I kept trying to be smoking weed because I wanted to like it, which is a weird thing, but I did want to like it. And a friend of mine died. It's a whole thing, but I was high and basically just for 2 years after that experience, after getting high, I was like, oh my God, like shit. I was going crazy. I think it might have even been laced, dude. I thought trees looked different. I was like,
Shit.
yeah, I was losing my shit. So I didn't smoke for a really long time. And then
You think you smoked latest weed?
I don't know. I think I smoked like something.
It was like, all right, was it somebody already had something rolled up, it was already done and prepared, and then they just handed it to you?
No, I was with my friends and my two friends, and I think we bought the weed and rolled it. Yeah.
It was
It
already
wasn't,
grounded up or some shit?
no, you know, it wasn't necessarily the high. It was more like my friend died and I was high, and then somebody said something to me while I was high that kind of freaked me out. And then that stuck with me for like 2 years. And I actually thought I was high for 2 years. I'm like that's what I thought. I was just like, am I
What the
high?
fuck? You thought you were, you wait a minute. Wait. So you were you smoked, all right, you smoked January 3rd, and
Yeah.
then January 3rd, 2016, and you were high until January 3rd, 2018.
Yeah. Yes.
What the fuck did you smoke? What the fuck is this?
It was just weed. Dude, I was so out of it that like it's crazy. Like I was walking down the street and a kid threw a water balloon from his balcony, like, you know, as a prank, and it landed next to me, like right next to me. And I didn't even react. Like, and then I heard him go, whoa, like he was freaked out. That like what, like imagine looking at something, imagine like throwing something at somebody, it pops right in front of them and they don't even flinch, like they don't even.
Yeah, that's like Kobe.
Yeah,
you know, that Mamba mentality. You just stay there like a fucking ninja. Somebody swing a foot past you, pump ball fake or some shit, you don't even flinch.
Yeah, maybe, but he's expecting something to happen most
you
times.
were just too high to realize anything happened.
Too high. Dude, I went to college just to get my mind off of it. Like that's why I went to college.
Wait, that don't even make sense. What?
Like I wasn't in college at the time, and I didn't have plans to go to college. I was bad at high school. I didn't do very well, and then I didn't have any options as far as college was concerned. So didn't even know what I wanted to study. So I didn't feel like going to college. But I was so stressed out from like just this constant agony and stress, and just enough, and all the time in the world to think about it, like nothing to do to distract me.
Yeah.
That I was like, I'm gonna go to college, and I went to college, and then
How
it worked.
long did you last in college? You finished college?
No. Then I did 3 years in a 2-year community college, and what I spent my time. Yeah, and I
did that. I did that dumb shit. I went to community college for 3 years and still didn't have a degree at the end of it.
Well, because it's only fun. It only works if you know what you want to do long term. Like your plan is to get the degree so that you can go to a 4-year. So that means you already know what the 4-year is. If you have a goal in mind. So like,
I didn't really
just
have any idea of the schools that like the complete academia route. I was going to school because I knew I was supposed to, in a sense. And then shit, I started comedy at 18. So like I was the same year, my freshman year of school was like my freshman year of comedy. And then
dude, when
it
you
was like a race between which one finished or felt better. And comedy kind of won out. I kind of did.
I was gonna ask you that. So first year into comedy, you're 17 or 18. You said I was 17. When you were 18, to start comedy, what does that mean for you? Like you went to a mic?
Yeah, I tried to keep it secret, bro. I skateboarded away. I went to a park and did like a Google search about where open mics and comedy and shit is at. I found a comic strip, and then I kept it a secret for a little while. Like I would just go do stand up and not say anything to anybody. I would say I was looking for jobs. I'll tell people I'm gonna hang out with friends. I'll just keep it a secret. And just kept doing it. And then eventually motherfuckers found out because like the hours and the time was just getting more and more weird. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
So here's the question. Are you ready for it?
I think so.
Why'd you keep it a secret? Who were you trying to keep it from?
Oh, the first time I had the idea of doing stand-up, I was probably in like 6th or 7th grade. And then the family was like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Shut that down, go to school. Yeah, and then I was like,
oh, wow.
The second time I'm older, so I'm like, all right, in my brain, I'm thinking that, okay, they didn't approve of this before. I'm gonna just go ahead, do this shit on my own, right? Like, just, when you don't know shit, you think you know something. So I'm thinking, what?
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
So I'm like, pretty much, I don't know shit. So I think I got an idea. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna keep it secret. I'm not gonna tell nobody. I'm gonna just do stand up, and then I'm gonna just blow up, son. Like that's it. I'm gonna get one of these days, Dave Chappelle gonna come pick me up from school, and that's that. It was stupid. It was genuinely a dumbass, not like I don't know how this shit works idea.
I mean, it's kind of beautiful.
Secret, and then just one day end up on HBO, and that's it.
Yeah, I didn't keep mine a secret at all. I told everybody immediately. As soon as I had a clip of me doing stand-up, I put it on Facebook. I was like, "Hey guys, look at my show, or look at what I did." I was in high school. I got so many likes, and I loved it. I was like, it was so cool."
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't do none of that, man. In high school, it was different. I wasn't, because like comedy wasn't on my, the idea of a career in it wasn't on my mind in high school. In high school, because they done told me no in junior high, so now I'm in high school. I'm moving on to other, what I thought was my dreams and my purpose and shit like that. So I'm like playing sports, a bunch of different sports. I started photography in high school, and I got into cars very heavy, and that's what I thought I was going to be doing, shit in that area. But the second I got a chance, I did it. Just did it.
Well, the comic strip is the place that you found, because that's actually the first place I ever saw a show. I only saw one show before. Like, I didn't even like stand-up, by the way. Like, I remember seeing it in middle school and like being like, this is horrible. Like, this is so bad.
Where did you see stand-up that you was like, this is horrible?
My friend had it on television in his house, and so we were watching it. And,
you just saw a fucking pro, like some famous person?
Yeah, like it was on TV, or like it was like he put it on TV. It was middle school.
So you're just watching George Carlin kill for 40 minutes straight, and you're like, terrible.
No. Well, maybe if it was George Carlin, maybe I would have been more. Like, it's sad. Like, maybe if it was somebody I would have liked, maybe I would have been. Because the second I saw stand up like that I liked, which was Louis C.K. Sorry, guys. Back then he was cool.
He was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. Nobody knew he wasn't cool, and that made him cool. So anyway, yeah, when I saw his stand up, I was just like, holy fuck, like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I love this so much. I was laughing so hard. And then I was like, what the fuck is this thing? Like, how do you do this? Like, where do you go to see more? And then I just was like, I'm gonna go do it immediately. And then I just went to an open mic like a day later. Well, I saw like a couple of clips of Adam Sandler, which I was like, oh yeah, oh, that's how he's Adam Sandler, because he.
At first, like, I didn't know Adam was a stand-up. I just thought of him as the movie guy when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I
Dude, I didn't even know.
I figured out he did stand-up and shit.
But dude, same with Chris Rock. Like, I remember seeing Chris Rock in movies and just being like, why is he famous? Like, who is he? Like, for what reason do we care about Chris Rock? And then I was like, oh, because he's this guy. He's done this. Okay, that's cool. I want to do that.
Where the fuck did you get your media from that you do not know who any of these massively famous people are? Did you just not have a TV, Dean? What the fuck?
I mean, I watched strictly cartoons until about, maybe 14. So
Yeah,
I
you
didn't have.
motherfucker that be listening to Disney music just on the train.
Not anymore though, dude. I mean,
you gave up the Disney life?
it's not appealing to me anymore to listen to shows. It changed. COVID.
Changed. What changed it?
Oh, I moved out.
Blasting fucking soundtrack to Aladdin like it was good music.
Yeah, I was lacking in a lot. Believe it or not, I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily what it takes to be a guy that likes Disney music to think to not be so developed. But I think that I wasn't so developed personally, like as a human yet. I was barely human back then. Like, I still lived in a 1-bedroom with my mom and my older brother, and it was just an awful environment. And like,
so you
that's not a way to
barely human back then.
Barely human back then. That's how I feel.
Why barely human?
Because I was just, I mean, what kind of it just didn't make. That's not a person. That's not an existence. There's a reason that nothing was going well. Like, there's a reason. I mean, everything was wrong. I can see it.
Oh,
like, I was watching tapes of myself like from a couple of years ago, and I remember thinking, first of all, like, not only like, dude, I don't even speak like that anymore. Like, I don't talk like that. I definitely wouldn't talk that way. And so it's cool to see a change in yourself that way. But I also thought, I was like, oh my God, like that was a version of me that I remember being that guy. I remember thinking I was owed so much and that like everything should be going my way and me. Oh my God, how crazy that is to live that way. Like, to be so like to have no reason to, huh?
Was that self-centered or something? What is that? What do you mean?
Self-centered, insane, entitlement, and naive, petulant, all kinds of childish things, And so, it's not like you can't be successful, It's not like you can't do it. Like, it's not like you couldn't work really hard, and really work hard, like, and be real with yourself, because like some people suck and they don't want to admit it, like, and they're not willing to push past certain parts of themselves, and so that kind of affects their comedy too.
Facts.
So like, hey, like, okay, so you're willing to work really, really hard. Cool. Okay, so now you do that, and then you really work hard and you're really honest with yourself, and that's good too. So then, okay. So now and then you try to create something for yourself that is sustainable in the long term first. Yeah. So that, all right, so then it's like, okay, well, what do I actually want? Like, I want to be Louis, but that's not how you think. You don't be Louis. You can't be Louis. Like, well, what does that mean? You want to be Louis? Like, you want to make 5 specials and make a TV show called Dean? Like, is that what I want? I'm saying I want my legacy to be no, I want to be really good at the thing I like and make my living doing it and be known by a lot of people for it and exist that way. And so then you start asking yourself, well, for what? Like, what it is that you want to do. And then it's good to know that you don't have anything in mind specifically if that's holding you back, because that all that means is that you don't have an idea. It's fine not to have an idea. Like, not everyone has an idea all the time. And but think about it. Spend that time thinking about it. Maybe don't be reckless with your time. Maybe just think, okay, I'll spend some time today doing this efficient thing and this efficient thing. And
there's a definite formula to progression. There's a formula to like to just being a better version of yourself. Like, it's uncomfortable. That's the thing. I think it is like, what happens is that it's knowingly uncomfortable. The entire process. Getting good at shit don't feel good.
Oh no.
Getting better, improving, like all of this shit, bro. Getting a better body, a better mindset, becoming more intelligent, fucking any facet of discipline. It doesn't like feel good in the moment as you're doing it. The process is not a pleasurable process. It's at the end of it that it's like a fucking explosion of goodness, like more good shit than you can even imagine. But on the way to that motherfucker, oh, it sucks. It fucking uncomfortable and all that.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
All right, so there's this really cool moment in Breaking Bad that it really relates to the thing that you're saying, where Jesse is really angry with these two drug dealers for killing his friend, and Jesse's proposing that Walt and Jesse kill those dudes.
Yeah.
And his frustration, like he's not like Jesse isn't a murderer, and we learn that later about him. Like he isn't somebody that wants to kill people, and it hurts him when he does it finally. And so him and Walt are discussing it, and he's kind of upset with Walt, and Walt then has to make this decision where he, in this process of Jesse about to shoot these dudes, because he's angry and because he's being immature and being reckless, and not because he's killing righteously. Like he doesn't really believe it's going to be good for him to do this. He's just angry. But then Walt comes and he kills him. He doesn't have a dog in the race, but he is going to be loyal to his guy. And then Jesse, it's like he immediately respects him again, because Walt can shoot this dude in the face no problem. Like it's not an issue for him. Like he knows to do it righteously.
Yeah.
In his mind, and so it's like, you know, in the show, they kind of show the process of a guy getting so comfortable with killing people
that it becomes him or something.
Yeah, it's no longer an issue. But the same thing with writing, like in comedy, it's like it's so hard to do something. Like your first thing you write, it's hard to do. Yes.
Starting of things to get the ball rolling, to get the momentum.
Yeah. And then the process of like the pain from
momentum going, and then fighting through the growth pains and all of this shit. Yeah.
But it's the same concept in like, in all assets. It's like, because Walt in the show, at least, you know, he's a very successful guy. And so for what reason? He's successful because he's good at the thing he's doing. And the thing he's doing is that he's really comfortable with killing. And it's like, well, go do stand up, and then, you know, you bomb and it hurts, and you do it again, and eventually you get better at that, and then all these new
things.
That's
a hell of an analogy though, Dean. I gotta say, man.
Yeah, a little bit of a stretch.
The way you made sense of progression is through Breaking Bad murders, drug murder. What the fuck?
Just that somebody can do it. It's hard for Jesse to kill, and it's not really hard for Walt to kill. And that's interesting. I mean, they're two different people. One's the sidekick, and one's like the main dude. And so those differences in their character, I think, says a lot about them. And I think it is why a successful comedian is like a successful comedian, for that same reason. Like something about that concept is the same thing.
I mean, I don't know, because Walt could be okay with killing because he feels dead inside. He doesn't have the emotions. He doesn't. He lost his wife, lost his kid. He went through this cancer thing, lost his job. He's a drug dealer now. He's like, fuck it. Why not? Life is what it is. So what the fuck I got to lose? He's older. And then the other one, he's young. He ain't got shit. He still think, what if life could change for me? Maybe. So maybe that's the reason that he's like, I can't do it. Because if I do this, if I kill somebody, that's definitely a path that I gotta keep choosing. I'm gonna go to jail, even if this is the only body I ever catch. I might go to prison. I might yada yada. They might retaliate and come kill my black. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck.
True, but Jesse does by the end of the show end up being somebody that can kill easily because he's so hardened by what his experience is.
You know what I'm saying? You just said the same shit. He's so hardened. Fucking, his soul has been withered away. Versus someone who's like, I'm trying to even maybe the idea is that you're trying to fortify your spirit or something like that and make it even stronger. So you're going through the tough shit with the intention of improving yourself.
Yeah.
Not being so dead inside that you can kill somebody, but fucking, I don't know, whatever goal you have.
In that moment when he killed those two dudes, he didn't lose his wife yet, and he didn't like it wasn't so bad for him. He just did it because he knew he had to, because he has to like be a man. He has to be the boss. He has to like. It's something about his decision making makes him a person that can be a leader. I don't have the.
I mean, he's also a school teacher too, so
Yeah,
he was
but
already leading. And
Well-
oftentimes, when you look at the situations he's in, he's the oldest person in the room.
Yeah. Well, like it's a difference. That's the. I guess that's what happens when you grow up too, right? It's like when Hank dies in the show. It's like spoilers, guys. Hank dies. But if you haven't seen it,
Fuck off.
you know,
Mhm.
Hank, he kind of like accepts his death. Like even though he doesn't want to die, like when I don't remember Hank
Yeah.
how he died. He doesn't beg for his life. You know, he's not like gonna be a bitch. He knows he's gonna die, but like he doesn't beg. He doesn't cry. He doesn't lose his character. Like he stays who he
Because
is.
he done lost everything already that he cares about. You know the fame. It's like an easy scene that when somebody's
But
about
just
to
same
die.
thing with Jesse. Same thing with Jesse. When they're about to kill him, he's begging and screaming and crying because
It's different because he
he
doesn't
lost
have the
everything.
same experiences. It's like when the
Right.
dude's going, don't shoot. I have a family. I got this. I got that. He's giving you the reasons that he should stay on Earth versus the dude who goes, you seen the movies, bro. The dude goes, fuck it. My life is ass anyway. Shoot me. Go ahead. I don't care. I done lost my shit. My mom don't this. My dad is gone. My this is that. My dog is whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. Shoot me. I don't care. That's this. It's the same tropes.
I think it's a little different.
How so?
I'm saying that the strength that like if you're a good writer, it's from in a lot of what you're really good at is handling the pain as it comes to you. Like that's what happens to you when you're in the pursuit of getting greater at something. Is like it's like it like oh maybe flying on a plane for the first time is really scary, and so it's gonna like scare you, and then you do it, and so you know maybe the second time you do it, it's still scary, but like you've got a little confidence about it. You know you've accomplished it once, and you feel like you can do it, and so then it's just so easy because it's the pain, the fear that still exists a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're so much stronger than it that you can actually do it no problem, even though it's still a fear. Like, there's fear in it, you know. There's some things you can do without fear. And like I take a train still with fear. Like I still have it in me to be a little cautious in the train.
Okay.
For getting stuck and having an anxiety attack, which is a problem I used to have all the time. But I still do it now, and I can do it no problem. But it was all like steps I took. Like, and then I had like I used to take my Nintendo DS and I'd like keep it with me. I'd play Mario Kart if I needed it. Like it was crazy. Like I was so dependent on so many things. And so then finally I was able to get in and not have my Nintendo DS, and that was a big accomplishment, you know. So then I was like, okay, well I'm stronger than the fear now. And
but all right, so you have a goal of what's the goal? You have a goal in that scenario. You have what's the goal of yours?
To be able to take the subway train on my own.
All right, to take the train on your own, which I guess what the bigger thing is like self-reliance or some shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, and independence, you know, independence and strength.
So that's the bigger goal, and the getting on the train is just like maybe like step 1 or 2 of that goal. So you fight through it in order to get to, you know, the bigger thing that's in your mind when you're probably thinking of shit when I'm on tour or I'm flying, like, you know, the fully developed version of your life that's in your mind. And in order to get to that, you gotta like conquer these little things first. So that's like your driving factor, and then you just stay the course. it becomes uncomfortable. You're experiencing all kind of shit that, you know, would have driven you away in the past, but at this point in your life, you're trying to fight past it because you're keeping your mind focused on a goal. I don't see how that is the same as a dude who's like, I don't have shit to live for, so therefore I'll just do whatever.
Okay, so I'm not. Well, that's your. Personally, I think that's how you're hearing my interpretation.
I mean, I could be completely fucking incorrect. I'm
not saying your point may not necessarily be incorrect, but it isn't my point. Which I'm just saying, like in the show in Breaking Bad, the first time he kills, it's actually like an accident. So he's already like gotten blood, but it's accidental. Then he has to kill somebody because if he doesn't, they'll kill him, and he's really sorry about it. Like he doesn't like doing it.
All right.
And then next time we see him kill, he's already confronted like a really hard dude, and his interpretation of this hard dude who does kill a lot of people is like Tuco is the guy. You know, like Tuco's a guy that kills people all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like a mob. He's like a little mob boss. But he's actually not that high up in there in the ranks. Like he's not Gustavo Fring. He's not the cartel or anything. Like he's his own little thing. You know, he's like a successful comic that isn't like famous. Like he's like his own thing. You know. And so Walt is pursuing like, and then he has to like overcome this guy. He wants to actually be above Tuco. He doesn't want to work for Tuco. He wants to take over Tuco's position. And so, well, then you have to be a little bit like Tuco, right? Like it's like the same thing as a show. It's like you want to be on a show, right? You want to go to a club. You want to be on a show. Okay, well, look at the comics on the show. Are you like them? Can you even speak to any of them? Like, do you think you're in the same category as funny? Do you think you can accomplish as much as they've accomplished? Like, can you make yourself belong here? You know what I mean? And so same thing in his brain, maybe it's like, well, this guy's killing people with a fucking Bowie knife, and because he has to in this business, in that business, like to be a tough meth dude, you got to start fucking murdering people and shit. And this is what Walt wants. Like he wants to be the big dude. He wants to be the toughest motherfucker. He wants to be the most badass, hardcore dude. And the show is like a downward spiral into the depths of evil, all the way to the fucking season 5. Like he's dealing with cold-blooded neo-Nazi motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. Like they're a totally different class of human. Like they make Tuco look like a decent dude. Tuco fucking, makes food for his abuela. Like, that's why he isn't up there in the ranks. And even Gustavo, who's like the kingpin meth guy, is compassionate towards like some people and like has the ability to show compassion and be rational and be reasonable, and he's kind of calculated and a little deeply fucked up, but like he, it's kind of for his own plans and stuff. But Jack and the crew, like Todd, they're all fucking psychopaths, like evil. And so, but Walt somehow, like, he has this connection with them. Like that's the only thing that keeps him alive when he's near them. Like if you're talking to a bunch of dudes like that, if I spoke to a bunch of neo-Nazis murdering psychopaths, I would get fucking killed probably. They'd beat the shit out of me. They'd kidnap me. That's what they do. But not Walt. They respect Walt.
Well, Walt's white and you're Jewish. They don't really like, the Nazis they don't really, what I'm saying? They got a bad history.
Yeah.
I think that might be, maybe that's all you're missing from here, Dean, is that Walt was a white man.
That could be a part of it too.
Bullshit. But I hear you though. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying
the
process of putting yourself in a position to be somewhere means you got to acquire certain skills that other people seem to attain.
And then I'm saying that the process to get to the whatever the fuck the thing is that you want is, one, having to be okay with discomfort, and then two, to almost seek out the discomfort that you got to force yourself to be okay with.
Yeah, you should take failure you should take failure like it's a drug.
What you mean?
When you take a new drug, like you want to take shrooms for the first time, it's scary. It's like, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. That's why it's scary. And then you fucking prep yourself and you get yourself into place and you do it, and then you're like, and then whatever happens is like, but hopefully you don't die. I haven't done shrooms, but I assume that's the feeling is gonna be like if I ever do. So failure is the same way. It's like it sucks to fail because it's gonna suck.
Hurt. Yeah.
Hurt you. It's gonna be scary, and the reasons for that is because it's gonna be existential as fuck. Like, oh, I'm funny. I want to be at the show. I'll talk to the booker. Oh, the booker fucking hates me. Oh, I'm not that funny. Oh, I fucking suck. Like, it's a horrible feeling. And they're not wrong. Like, you do suck. Like you aren't as funny as these people. You're just crazy. Like, you're entitled, but it's a lesson you got to learn. And then eventually, you learn it, and then you work towards the goal. And then that's at least how I view it, as to be at least the healthy way to go about pursuing that kind of this a career.
Is that you're saying that you just essentially just have to be okay with failure?
You have, I think, the reason I say take it like a drug is because you should know it's always going to be hard, but you should kind of like, you should have that mentality, like prep yourself for the failure, like kind of like be aware you're going to fail at certain points, but put yourself in a position to do so. Like don't accidentally fail. Like
okay,
don't
yeah,
purposefully
I understand that part, to not accidentally fail. Yeah,
and don't purposefully fail, but like prep yourself for the failure that might happen, and it will happen because you're always afraid of it. Like you're sensing it; it's near to you. You know it's gonna happen. If you try to talk to some people, it might not go your way. If you ask for something, it might be the wrong way to ask for it. These things, and it's scary. So get ready, because here it comes. Like, still do it though, and learn how to do it right. That's how I think about it, at least.
I mean, like, there's a part of it where, yeah, is it a cliche? I think it's a cliche. I think like face your fears. That's a super common.
Yeah.
So all right, you face your fear, which essentially, okay, you're afraid of whatever the fuck it is, but it has to be fear that's attached to growth, right? It can't just be like, I'm scared of heights. Because if you're scared of heights and you want to be an architect, no, that's not good. Because you're gonna build a bunch of low ass buildings. If you scared of heights and you want to be a dentist, that's not related to stopping you from, growing in your field. But if you're scared of heights and you want to be a motherfucker, you want to be Shaun White, you want to be a fucking snowboarder coming down a half pipe, going 37 feet in the air and shit like that, you can't be scared of heights. If you want to be like Tony Hawk and all these motherfuckers, that's like, shit. If you just want to be a pilot, you can't be afraid of heights and then accept that as that's just what it is. Like, this is just who I am. That's my fear. So that is it. If you want to be a pilot and you're afraid of heights, you gotta go to shit that makes you scared on purpose. Every weekend you gotta be on some other 48-story shit, doing things to get you. I don't know necessarily if you ever get unafraid, but at least you get like maybe familiar with the fear, or because isn't the whole definition of courage is that you do the shit anyway?
Yeah,
courage isn't the absence of fear, it's that fear is present and then you act anyway.
Yes, being courageous is very hard. A lot of people are all very casually cowardly. I mean, in most ways,
because being that is the battle. The battle we all have is to make ourselves do the tough shit when the easy shit is so easy. It's right there. It's right. The easy shit is always what it is. Easy. It is right there. It's accessible. It ain't gonna make you sweat. It's right. It's silver platter. It's like, here, fuck up your life. It's so easy. But the shit that's gonna have that's gonna pay dividends, you know, that's gonna enhance your life, that's gonna drive you forward, that's gonna bring dreams to fruition, that shit be hard. To wake up and take a cold shower, or to go work out, or to eat the shit you know you're supposed to be eating, to go home when you know you're supposed to be going home, to not hang out, to fucking sit down and turn off all distractions and just write, to like all of the shit that's gonna guarantee to yield benefit and growth. It's difficult. It's hard. It's fucking hard. Even something as simple as sex. To get a woman, a woman
to purchase one. Oh, I thought you meant like to purchase one. I was like, oh, that's easy.
Even if you want to be that type of dude to want to go buy sex workers, buy their products, that's work. That's not easy. You gotta get a job to afford it.
That's right.
Right? You gotta go solicit.
Well, solicit. I mean,
I don't know how you buy it, but I think you still got it. Ain't just at Walgreens. You don't just walk over to the pharmacy and then go to the aisle for ass. That's not how it works. You gotta go somewhere, or
I just go to the
website.
I just go to bars. I have like, hey, I have $30. You want to fuck
You're
me?
definitely gonna catch some type of STD with that method. That's the problem.
You think? I mean,
yes.
No, I'd find a really
loose $30 at a bar. Dean, that's how you get crabs. That's if you just handing out $30 and then whoever take it, you gonna get something.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I got it, hey, look, $30 hot chick equals
what
STD.
Hot chick is talking to you for $30?
Well, I'll talk to her. I'll still get her to talk to me. Otherwise, if before with them, $30 are in play, and then, after we've chit chatted a bit and I've already charmed her, then I'll be like, hey,
so all right. So wait a minute. In your brain, you think you're gonna find a 9 out of 10, right? At a loose bar in New York, you're gonna find a 9. Bar? You're gonna walk up to her. Bar. You're gonna walk up to her and hand her $30. Be like, yo, there's a 30 ball for you. What you trying to do? And then she gonna talk to you, and then eventually let you keep your money and still get to hang out or whatever. What are you saying to me, Dean?
The opposite.
She's gonna pay you $30?
No. I walk up to her and then I go, hey, you look really nice. And then she goes, thanks.
That'll be $30.
No, and then I say, I'm Dean. And then she'll be like, what? And I'll be like, yeah. And then she'll be like, okay. And then I'll say something really clever and charming. And then, she'll like me. And then after...
How does this $30 shit come into play, Dean?
Well, then eventually after we've spoken for a few minutes, I'll be like, listen, I'd like to have some sex. I have $30. Would you like to have sex for $30? And then she'll be like, all right, let's do that. And then, that'll happen.
You ever bought some pussy, Dean?
Never.
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 Not even a little bit.
No. Just had horrible sex up until somewhat recently.
Had horrible sex up until recent.
Somewhat recently.
Why is it horrible?
Well, for a lot of reasons. But you ever had horrible sex? What, all sex has been good?
No. I've definitely had times where I was just like, we both looked at each other and like, we shouldn't be doing. Like, we both looked at each other and was like, this is it, right? Like, we done here. That's definitely happened. Like, we are done here.
Dude, one time.
We both don't like each other. We should not be doing this. That's come on.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about like really horrible. I mean, I'm talking like stupid. Like, I had sex with this girl on the street one time.
Dean, what?
But it's okay. It was before COVID.
Yeah, it's all right because COVID wasn't outside yet. So 2017, you in these streets wilding.
She really wanted to. And
It was her idea.
yeah, man, it
I
was
believe
horrible.
you. I believe you. I believe
It
that
was
was her idea.
And then she was like, just like,
You met at a comedy club.
yeah.
Yes, I already knew. From you told me it was her idea, I knew the context.
Yeah, because I couldn't get that to happen without doing comedy. You know, it would have to definitely be after a
No,
set.
and it's just that women at comedy shows after women, people in general are fucking weird. They get weird, man.
They do.
They
People
get
the
weird.
way it's like, dude, we see people like, dude, I don't know. When people are like sitting down at restaurants, like they transform into like another kind of person.
Yeah, they get weird, yo.
It's so
true.
weird.
Especially after they see you perform and then you kill that night. It's like, what? I can't just take me home with you. Like they try to treat you like you're my friend now. Get in my car. I'm gonna buy you drinks. It lets you tell one joke about weed. They're gonna be like, tonight. It's a lot. It does become a lot.
You know, me, Matt Richards, and Matt Richards, and just some guy after a show that I opened for Matt for. We all just hung out. Like he was in the audience, and we just hung out all night. We went like clubbing.
Yeah.
And I was like so nervous because I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Like he's just some dude. And I was like, I'm gonna treat him like my boy. Like I'm just gonna act like he's my boy and see if it like works. And then I did, and it totally worked. And he kept talking to me like, I was insulting him and shit. Like it was crazy. Like he was trying to get some girls. I was like, bro, you fucking suck, dude. You can't get nobody. You're making us look bad, dude.
Yeah.
And then like, it was just I thought it was cool that I can. That it was.
What? Be friendly, Dean? What's the discovery here? You just said, what if I treated him like a friend? Would that work? Yeah, just treating people friendly can work. What the fuck? What is the discovery?
It's crazy to me. Like, I don't think sometimes people really can take the things I might want to say to them, so I don't say it at all.
What's the shit that's on your mind to be saying to people?
It just would always come out. Like, I told the dude, like, oh, dude, you're fucking up right now, and you're not helping us get laid, and, you know, there's a friendly way to say it, and there's, like, a shitty way to say it, but it's still what's being thought, so it's like, well, the only way that you can say it properly is if you are comfortable with the person and that you can say it without fear, which is why that's what bombing is. You know, you ever say, if you say it on stage, it's not going well. It's because probably like you're saying it with fear. Like if you say something offensive,
fear is a hell of it's a terrible ingredient to life.
Yeah, dude, fear. If you say an offensive joke, if you're afraid to tell, dude, that's why, yeah. Dude, I did like this.
What just happened to you?
No, it's a little. Because it's gonna sound awkward, but dude, I did this show at Brooklyn Comedy Club, like the Old Man Hustle Brooklyn Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And the audience was just all black people, and I tried to just not think of them like they were all black people. Like I thought that was not necessary, you know, because that would if I mentioned to them that was something in the room that's so isolating, you know. I think that.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that, and I just had a killer set. And by being myself, and it's because I wasn't afraid, like because I really felt like I understood like how to do that properly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so I think it's a skill that people learn in life, which is being the same thing with being friendly. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like kind of the same exact thing. Being friendly and being yourself. It's actually people tell you that they'll be like, just be yourself. Like that's advice people give you a lot. Like just be yourself. Well, that's actually the reason that's advice that you get very often is because it's actually very difficult to be yourself all the time.
Yeah, it's difficult because there's like a bunch of voices where you're constantly going, yes, no, nah, maybe, is that right? What should I like second guessing? You're moving ahead of reality. So like we're having this moment, but instead of being in this moment, I'm like trying to perceive what's gonna come after. I'm trying to be in the future. It's all of that shit is gonna prevent you from being present. Just being present, just being absolutely in the now. And
Yeah,
that's the shit that fucks people up a lot. That happened to me.
Yeah, well, listen, sometimes you're being yourself. You ever like this happens to me personally. Like I will meet people and they're new to me, and I'm not very social with them, and so they don't get. Maybe they don't really have an understanding of what I might be like. You know, like it's happened. It's happened to me a lot lately. You know, because I'm hanging out in all these places, and like a lot of people are like very respectable, and I'm like kind of like shy. And the other day I was hanging out, and my friends were with me, and I was like being myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that people were seeing, like they were watching me like be myself, like they never saw me talk that way, like they couldn't even imagine I speak. And it's because I haven't like found a way to be myself everywhere I go, which is, I think, it's like that's the skill that I've been working on lately, which is why
self thing everywhere is, I feel like it's a recipe or like a combination of removing fear, because you can't, fear will make you be like there's something that I want to do or say that I'm afraid that it may not go well or it may go differently or whatever. So while you're having that debate and conversation in your head, reality is still happening, time is still moving. So then that you don't see how awkward you look because you're in your head having this full-on discussion about what could or could not and possible, and then everybody's like, what the fuck? So that's a moment where you about to do something.
But the thing is, everyone is like that.
Everybody's like, struggling with this shit.
Yeah, so like
it's just that there's different degrees where sometimes people are a little more free, maybe.
Yeah, listen, I could be shy because maybe I'm a little intimidated. But maybe the people who are intimidating to me, like in their head, they're not intimidating. Like maybe they're a little upset because they would like to get to know me, and I'm having a hard time doing that. And not that they want to know me, but maybe just that they feel like they're the problem. Just like maybe they're also in their head, like how I'm in my head.
Yeah,
they're in their head.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So then it's just like two people that are not sure how to do it, and so the only way to get through that is like somebody has to really be brave, and like extend that invitation
and be okay with the discomfort of this might bomb. I might try to say something to homie, and then it might go poorly.
Yeah, sometimes they might just not care to know you, and sometimes they might be nervous to know you. You know,
that's true.
I try to be super friendly. I run a show, and I'm like so positive at my show. I'm like, my show's the fucking best, dude. You should come by more. Cause
when's the next one? That's every Tuesday, right?
Every Tuesday. I booked you. For a date.
Yeah, I've done it.
Yes, I know. Of course you've done it. But what's the next time you're doing it? What was it, like February 15th? Is that
February
Tuesday?
15th. Yeah, February some shit.
That's cool. I'm plugging my show, Aggressively Chill, at Gold Sounds Bar at 44 Wilson Avenue.
Pull up.
Every Tuesday. Pull up.
When I did it, it was fun.
Yeah, dude,
that's when I was working material to do for the Comedy Central taping.
How'd that go?
Fun. It was that was one of the most like it was very emotional. Like a lot of shit was going on in that month. I think I taped in September. And a lot of shit was going on in September. That was just like personal life shit that had me like I had to be to go to work, to like go to the studio and go do writing and go to keep showing up to shit was like me having to like give myself self-talks almost every day, multiple times a day. It was like so much shit was going on at that point that it was like that. I was like, fucking keep it together. Like, I'll be driving, bro, and just the right song play, I start crying. It was like that, like mad shit was going on. I was just like, fuck, I'm stressed out. And then you got to go perform and be the source of people's laughter and shit. Meanwhile, you like, I need to cry, nigga. Like it was different. It was different.
Dude, that feeling, that hardship,
Mm-hmm.
was the thing that it was like that was the thing that was hard to get yourself to face to get to the next place, and then you did it, and then you got to the next place. You know what I mean?
I mean, because I had like a death in the family and shit like that. So for me, it was like it wasn't like because I already booked the show and everything. I already got it off of my merit of work in the past. This was like, can I still get the job done? Can I still show up to work despite how my life is going? Like it felt like one of those moments of the you know that the show must go on type of shit.
Yeah,
it was like, can I like compartmentalize my mind to be like, all right, you ever seen the show where a motherfucker can like switch his face? Like he'll turn and it's like a whole different face. And I was like that, like right, I'm fucked up right now, but I do have a job to do. And depending on how I do this job will reflect, or not reflect, but like will determine how future jobs come or go or whatever the fuck. So let me see if I could be here. Let me see if I could be present. Let me see if I could get the job done. Like I wasn't 1000% my regular self because I was still, going through shit, but it was a moment to see like, all of this shit is happening, and I'm not the one controlling anything. I'm just in it. Only thing I got control of is myself and how I react to things or respond to things. I ain't got no control over nothing else that's going on. I can't even impose effect on it or not.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things we can do though, and you seem to have gotten yourself through it, right? I mean, how are you feeling now?
There's still moments where it's like fucking like mishandling of stress or things that present themselves as stressful. So I think that's the thing. That's a part of it too. It still comes up here and there. I feel like I'm getting back to what I was doing prior to those moments where I was feeling way more productive and positive and all of these things, like doing daily routines and shit. Like that's one of the biggest things, bro. Yeah. I notice, let me get 2 or 3 days straight of no daily routine, I'm about to be a bum motherfucker, bro. I could feel it. I start scrolling on Twitter all day. I'm watching porn. I'm just eating chips. I'm 4 bags deep into chips.
Jesus, bro.
I'm just sitting there. It's just like, ugh. I ain't did a push up in 3 days. Like, I feel like a bum.
Ah, dude, you suck.
Yeah, pretty much. There's times like that where that should show up, where you just feel like, damn, yo, I fucking suck right now. And then it's like, that's a part of the whole growth thing where it's like, I do feel this, but there is something in my mind of how I could move forward or get past this moment. The moment that I'm in, the way I'm currently feeling, doesn't have to be a fucking personality trait. I don't have to keep this. I don't got to identify with it. Like, I can do the right things and do them consistently long enough that I change my path, recorrect something, redirect something, and not have it just like, all right, this is what it is now. Just accept it. I could just try to be different. And that's something that I like, going, shit is uncomfortable. don't do something to try to remove the discomfort. Just stay in it until it passes. Is something that I'm working on.
Struggle through it.
Like it's so easy to like, because I do that shit where it's like, all right, I'm annoyed, I'm whatever, and then you try to find ways to get that feeling removed quickly, like fat. You want that shit gone instantly. And anytime I notice for myself, instant shit usually not good. Instant stuff is gonna suck, huh?
Pursuing an impulsive pleasure.
Anything instant is gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. Like in the first 5-10 seconds of its pursuit, it might feel good, or like you might think it's good, but quickly after you're like, all right, I probably should have went for a walk, maybe. Like I probably could have.
Oh yeah, dude. I
Just
had
sat
that.
down. Like just sometimes you just gotta sit down and just be bored. Like just let yourself be old school throwback bored. Do not touch your phone. Don't scroll shit. Just look at the ceiling and just be in that. Like I'm working on that.
Me too, man. That's why I had a fucking moment last night. Pretty horrible. Female related, but I've recently been building my room because up until recently it looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
Which I think was, all of there's so many reasons why if my room is so bad, what does that say about me? Like I had this little like thing on my wall, but I couldn't even go to the hardware store for like months just to get the things to get it to stick. Like I had all the time in the world to do it. I just never got it done. I was building this desk and I tried building it alone and I couldn't do it. Like I was getting so frustrated. I was getting so angry. And so I got my friend to help me. So I didn't really struggle through it entirely on my own. But then that was a life lesson to me. I was like, well, there you go, Dean. That's why you're not getting booked. That's part why. Like, because you can't keep it together when things are hard. You'll freak out. You'll fizz out.
That's important. That is important.
And so that's what I've been working on. Now my room looks pretty decent, but it can always look better. And so the room is like your head.
And it's dope that you brought up the room in relation to comedy, because it's like I forgot where I read. I really don't remember where I read this shit, but I remember the sentiment. They're pretty much saying what a discipline in one area is going to be related to a discipline in another.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Damn, if I can't stop myself from doing this, then I'm not going to be able to do that.
I wanted to be on Comedy Central. Like, dude, when I lived with my mom, my older brother, I wanted to be on Comedy Central. But like, what's that story where I'm the guy that lives with my mom and my older brother, and I do Comedy Central? Like, how could a life like that exist? Like,
it can. I still live at home.
Not my life. Like that wasn't. No, that's a horrible.
I understand though. It's tough. I get it. It's absolutely tough.
But not only was it tough, it's just like you would only stay there if you were incapable of leaving. Like, which I had to learn how to be capable of leaving, and which is partially like just like building the room, building the desk, moving out. It's all related to comedy too. You know what I mean? It's like you just said. It's like I was looking at my room. My girlfriend and I recently broke up, and I had a bunch of stuff in the room that was like reminding me of her. And so I thought of that like an analogy in my brain. I'm like, well, then there's probably a lot of things in my head that are in with her still there. So maybe I should get rid of it. Maybe I should get it out of my head. And then same thing. It's like, how many things do I have in my room that I don't need? Like just useless things, like that I don't look at. Like, well, then how many things in my head are just useless things I don't need or don't look at and don't need them there? Like, well, let me get rid of that stuff and then let me make this room just a fucking shit. If I can make the room the shit, that means I know how to make places that I go the shit. You know what I mean? Like everywhere, I'll know what kind of lights to get. I'll know how to make colors and shit. I'll know how to create an aesthetic.
And that can feed into just the fact of like life living in that way where you're trying is you're gonna try somewhere else too. Well, at least you have the ability to, that you're aware that you have the ability to. Putting forth that much effort and being like, all right, if I could do that, then what's to say I can't just show up here? It's like pushing through is something that can be converted to a bunch of different other currencies. It's the gold standard. It's like no matter what it is, pushing through a workout, pushing through a set, pushing through a script, fucking just difficulties in regular ass life, whatever it is, it's still the same rules, kind of.
Literally the same, dude. Building this desk.
Shit, yeah.
I got fucking frazzled. I was like, oh,
you built the desk from scratch. Like, what kind of desk was it?
It's from IKEA. It's a nice desk. I wanted to be
so black. You have to like sit down, put it together.
Yeah. And it was like all these instructions, and I just didn't want to ruin it. Like because getting the desk. Oh my god, dude! Going to IKEA, that's a skill, dude. I have a whole bit about like how these things are skills. Like going to IKEA, holy fuck, dude! Like you definitely gotta go with a car. So you need a car. Like you can't go to IKEA, bring shit home without a car. So IKEA is not a no car place to go. Okay, so you need a car. Now you can either be dependent on somebody and ask for their car, or you can find your way to getting a car so you never need someone's help to make a fucking desk. Get a fucking driver's license. It's all related. So then you fucking get your car, and then you finally have a car. You go to IKEA, and then okay, so now you have to know what you need, like what you want and what lights to get, and have you measured everything, and how are you gonna? And no one works there, no one works there. No one talks to you, dude. It's machine after machine, and the only time someone talks to you is when they tell you to put your mask on. So it's like, oh, so you've been seeing me here, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing, and the only thing you got to say to me, fuck you, man.
Put your mask
fuck on, IKEA. Everything, it's and that's why people don't do things, dude. There's a reason going to IKEA is not ideal and nobody wants to fucking do it. It's because it's an unpleasant experience, and it's only for a goal that's already difficult in the first place, which is based on so many like things in your head that are unrelated to IKEA and any of those people, and that's why nobody gets along, and it's so fucking frustrating. And now we're all being replaced with robots, so nobody even wants to talk to each other anymore. Like my friend and I drove up to the fucking machine, and it just yells at you because it can't tell how annoying it is. It's like, please put your card in the. I'm like, oh my fucking god, bitch! Like
you can't tell how annoying it is.
Yeah, you can't, because that's the thing. What we need people to talk to people, because people can see people when they're frustrated.
Yeah,
that's why fucking people are evil now. You go on Facebook and it's like, oh, your ex-girlfriend texts you, baby, I'm in jail, reply to her in 4 words, and then you just see the comment section and it's a bunch of people just being like, fuck you.
Yeah, trying to get likes and shit.
Yeah, and it's like, that's first of all, it's more than 4 words. But and then because it's not even like that they want to, because that's the thing. It's like you don't want to say, that's because we're all I love you. Yes, I'll help you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, of course, my ex-girlfriend. Like, you would only ever say "go die, whore" or whatever to your ex-girlfriend if you never even understood your ex-girlfriend was a fucking human being, and and that's why most relationships fucking suck, because people are like oblivious to the fact that they're also kind of barely human. Think about this, dude. I think about like Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Ramsay, right?
Yeah.
Like he is so good at being a person. Like this is how good he is at being a person. He is so smart that he knows how to make so much good food, and he has 12 restaurants. So he's got a business. He's very smart, charismatic, personable. Like he is so intelligent in so many ways, and he works out. He's clearly in shape, and so he's got a good routine. And then he makes a TV show, and what his TV show is that he's able to go into places and show the world what he sees. And he's not wrong. He's never wrong. but it's like he always points out, it's like you think that like he'd be like, oh, the mayonnaise is blah blah blah, but that's not the opinions he has when he goes into places, dude. He'll like meet people and start to like learn about them, and like he'll piece together, and then he goes into their kitchen, which is just like going into someone's room, and like he sees all the rot, and it's like, well, this is why, because you think this is okay, because you have rot in your fridge every day, and you think it's okay to own a restaurant with that. Like, same thing here. That's why you suck, because you have it and you can't see it. Like, they don't see it as a problem. He is good at seeing the problem. That's why he's so good.
Yeah.
Because he can overcome every problem because he looks into it, dude. And he's fucking awesome.
I like that. I like what you just said. That sound good. That was a good one.
I'm working on
I give you that one, Dean. That was a good one. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Gotta be able to see the problem. Because if you can identify what the issue is, that means you can change it.
Right.
You can do something. At least you can start.
Dude, it's easy, or not easy. But look, it's definitely another thing about Breaking Bad. There's this scene. It's really iconic. Everyone loves it, where he tells these two dudes to stay out of his territory.
Mm-hmm.
It's really badass, and I started thinking about like, why is it so badass? Like, what about a guy walking up to a bunch of people telling him to stay out of his territory, and they listen to him, is like so badass. And I think it's the same reason Gordon Ramsay is cool. It's because he saw those people and he knew he had power over them.
Mm-hmm.
He knew it because he knows who he is in that business, and he can kind of show them. Just by being confident enough in himself, he actually convinces them that they should listen to him. They're both intimidating guys, like they're druggies, and the other dudes look really buff. They could have fucked him up.
Yeah.
They could have done something, but they didn't, because they know he's better than them. They know he is above them. Gordon Ramsay is above the guys he comes to help. And it shows in a lot of different ways. It's not like just that his food is better, but it's because he's better. He's a better person. He's a stronger person than them. And it's easy to show people. It's easy to see things when you know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So most people, they have a standard for what's acceptable. Like, you see their house and it kind of looks like whatever. It's like, and then you see someone else's house, it looks a little nice. It's like, all right, well. Then you see, then somebody will be like, oh, well, let's put this here. It's like, oh, well, that's a good idea. And they were able to see that. Why?
Like being able to take care of one thing and taking care of other things as well.
Exactly. That's basically where my whole brain has been at lately, man.
I feel you, bro.
So all that to say, that's why I didn't want to smoke weed on the pot for that reason.
Yeah, but I don't think that's. I don't like, even like, all right, smoking weed. I feel like it's a thing where it's like it can become an issue depending on how one utilizes it. Like the way you do it, the frequency, how you want to go about doing it, all of that stuff, your usage, your relationship to it.
I like it, and it helps me do things that are very difficult for me. Like, sometimes I'll be in situations and like social situations, and I just don't know how to be in them because I'm overthinking or I'm in my head, and it's really hard to not be that way. Like, it's just hard. But then I'll get high, and like things are just clear to me. Like, I can see, and then I have a better reaction with, like, I can tell that people enjoy me more, and it's kind of like a, it's sad. I don't really feel bad about it. Like, I don't necessarily feel bad that me smoking makes people feel better about me. But I think it's because there's certain things about me that I have a difficult time getting out of, but weed will help me. So maybe the journey is like, oh, I can do it without the weed, and then that'd be a whole thing. But we'll get to that when I get a rug, like first.
That's the thing that's stopping it. The day Dean gets a rug, you're not smoking weed no more.
Well, the day my room looks like the shit, I probably won't need to smoke weed anymore.
Mm.
I'll already be the shit, and I'll already know everything I need to know
So,
about
but
myself.
like, I'd assume that
So
Snoop Dogg's
blank. Look at
house
this.
is
I need to
pretty
get
dope.
tapestry. Huh?
I'm assuming that Snoop Dogg house is pretty dope.
Oh,
Seth
of
Rogen's
course.
house is pretty dope. I'm assuming. I ain't never been. I'm just assuming that these
Yep.
people are pretty good places. So it's like you can be a high performer with whatever.
Oh
It's,
yeah.
it's how you monitor it. You gotta like view everything the correct way. Like I have this thing that I'm dealing with. I'm like, I want to use technology. I don't want technology to use me. Where like, because a lot of shit is free. A lot of these apps and yada 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 is free, and it's free because I'm the product. They're using me, which is why they don't want me to pay for it. Because I'm the thing getting played here. So I want to get good at limiting the amount of times I'm allowing people to play me. So that's one of the things. It's like, same with weed. It's like, all right, I don't just smoke with anybody. I don't just buy weed from anybody. I don't just take weed from anybody. Like I have rules that go with that shit.
Yeah.
You see me where I'm like, yeah, I'll smoke. I'll say today, I'll smoke with you, but not you. I'm not taking. I don't. There's trust and I need to know what you're thinking and how you living. I don't want no shit that's gonna keep me high for 2-3 years in a row.
Dude, I heard this advice from Chris Rock's, like not to me, he didn't say it to me, but I remember like someone saying it that Chris Rock said this, and now I finally like really get it. He's like, if you're meeting a manager, meet them at their house because see how they live and how are they gonna manage you if they can't even manage themselves. So if they got a nice place, it's like really, and I heard that a really long time ago,
That's dope.
and I never really like fully
That made me
understood
feel
it.
good about my managers. I've seen a good amount of them, and they seem cool.
That's cool. I need a manager. God.
What the fuck? What year is this for you in comedy?
I'm in year 6. I'm about to be featuring. That's my goal, I guess. I don't know. I'm working on an hour right now. That's my goal for the year. I'm gonna film an hour. I'm making my show Aggressively Chill every Tuesday, and I'm trying to make it really good. It's already great. Like personally, like it's my favorite part of my life. It's like developed an entire relationships with people and friend groups, and it's nice. It's very good. It's very good. But I want it to be bigger, and then I want to shoot my hour there. And I know I wouldn't. I probably, I'll try to tour as much as I can. I guess before it's so hard, dude. Like
yeah, COVID fucked up.
I gotta build a show and find a way to do my hour on the road that I don't even have yet. I think I could do it. Like right now, I was on stage. I got off stage at 30 minutes, and I was being polite because I was just. It was a long show. I was like, all right, I'll get off, guys. But I was like, I want to keep going. So I'm curious to know how much I can do. But that's why I need a good crowd. That's why I'm trying to get so many. Like I need the show to become lit. You know,
I mean, you can find out how much you can do in front of a quote unquote bad crowd.
They weren't a bad crowd. No, it's not a bad crowd. It's just that the crowd's heard my jokes so many times at this point. You know, I got a lot of reoccurring people, so I really would like to test as much as I could into a fire crowd. But you know, that stage time is difficult for a man like me to acquire without my rug.
I mean, the rug and go out of the city.
Yeah, I have to message. I was gonna send some messages.
You could probably get good time like that in Long Island, upstate New York, Jersey.
Yeah,
just like out of the 5-borough shit, you know.
Unless for sure. I reached out to a connect I had at the Funny Bone in Syracuse, and I used to host there. And I think I'm at a place now where I can probably feature, like at least in my mentality. Like I think I'm like, okay, I'm ready to feature now. So I think maybe I can like reach out to that Funny Bone and see if I can spark in a relationship with Funny Bone. Yeah. Maybe that could be the thing.
Yeah, I mean
comedy jargon.
All of that.
Guys,
It's stages, man. I remember year 6. Shit. I was stressed, confused, not knowing what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it. But the other part is kind of what we've been talking about, is just that you keep showing up anyway. You keep,
oh yeah,
even though it's like it feels uncertain, you don't waver anyway. You do it regardless. You show up again. You just keep going through it. You keep walking through the fire, and then eventually shit just start getting a little different.
and just build something, like, and build it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the
I
part
know,
of it though. Just to build, because you got to keep showing up to build it. It's not like
yeah,
it's not a 1-day activity to build anything. You gotta come a couple days in a row, over and over and over, to make something substantial.
yeah. I mean, I do plenty of that. I'm always around. I definitely go to all these places. You ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah.
You know that show well?
Well enough, I feel.
You know that last episode where he's like in the Avatar state and he's like just got all this power and he's chasing down the Fire Lord and he's about to kill the Fire Lord, but he doesn't do it.
Okay.
And then the Fire Lord's like, you have all the power in the world and you are still weak. And he's talking about like a different kind of strength. Like, he's willing to kill this kid.
Yeah, and he's talking about the strength of restraint.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah. Well, it's more like he just doesn't want to do it. Like, he doesn't want to deal with that. Anywho, I was at a comedy club recently that I've actually never been to, and I went with a comedian. I don't know if I should say his name. I mean, it's not like it's just our friend Nico, but like, I don't know if he wants me to mention it. I don't think he'll care. But I was with him, and I walked in, and everyone respects him, and so they were really nice to me, and also the comics there all knew me and had respect for me too, so it was cool. Like, I felt respected and good. And I can even see that the staff was really nice and like super willing to talk to me, and like that the only reason that we weren't talking is because I was being shy.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I had all that information, I still couldn't bring it upon myself to speak to people. I was still
in your head, still in your own head,
and shy. Even though I knew I had no reason to be. Like, I knew that if I just said hi, that everything would have been totally fine. But I didn't do it. And I felt like that moment. Look, where I was in the Avatar state. I had all this power. Like, I knew everything I needed to know to do the thing. I just couldn't do it.
I don't know if that's what happened with Avatar though, where he had all the power and decided to not kill. I think it was him showing the other one, seeing it as strength to kill somebody, and Avatar is seeing it as the strength to let someone live. I feel like the Avatar's strength was restraint. Like, he can restrain himself from abusing his power. Like benevolent kingship. Like, I'm the strongest being, but yet I'm still gonna allow you a chance, is what I think the Avatar was going through.
No, I think Aang is selfish. And it's like even more so apparent that he's selfish in Legend of Korra, where he's like, he clearly had a favorite child, which is so fucked up to do to your kids, but his kids like live knowing that like Tenzin was the favorite. And that's kind of selfish too. And it's because he had ideals. He had a guilt about the Air Nation, he wanted to rebuild it. So Tenzin was the only son that can do that. So his selfish ideals got in the way of his actual relationship he had with his kids, and they felt that way. And he's just being selfish because there's people, it's not about him. Like, the world needs this guy to die or else everyone else is going to. But he finds a cheat code. He finds a cheat code with the lion turtle. The lion turtle does something that it's really not possible to really do to somebody in real life, which is take away their ability to hurt people. That's what he does. He takes away the dude's power.
They do that in real life. What the fuck you think certain medication is for?
Well, that's what canceling people is like. It's literally the lion turtle. It's taking away someone's ability to hurt you, or you hurt. Does that make sense?
Drug some people up so much they in a zombie state. All they could do is sit down and drool. They got so much fucking drugs in their system. So, shit.
Yeah, but
all kind of castration, chemical castration, and all of that. That's forms of removing a person's ability to inflict harm.
True. I guess you could. Yeah.
cutting off a person's hand.
That's a lot more gruesome, don't you think, than just killing a guy? Like making him live with his less than ideal version of himself all of a sudden forever.
Well, that's I don't know if that's like less gruesome. If you're a person who been robbing, you robbed 87 grandmothers, punched them in the face, snatched their purse, and then they chop off both your hands.
That's what Aang did, bro. Aang did that. You know what I'm saying? Aang did that. He, like, imagine you're the king of the world, and then you're a prisoner because you have no power anymore. Like, damn, sucks to be you, dude.
I mean, that's kind of the same with certain political figures.
Yeah.
The view of them is that they're this all-powerful, in-charge person, but in reality, they just, you know, they just a face, just a figurehead. Go out there, smile at the people while we do the real shit back here.
It's also like the fact that you can even sink so low and you could ever be. It's like, well, what made you king? Well, everyone thought you were king. Like nobody ever tried to deny that you were king. No one ever tried to step up because you couldn't be overthrown, and not just because you're a good bender, but because you have everyone's allegiance, and that's a power that's like, how do you even do that? Like, how do you get everyone's allegiance? Well, that's what celebrities do, I guess. Like, why are they famous? Because we love them. Like we have a love for them.
How a person can make you feel, because like you remember watching. Like, I remember watching Patrice O'Neal stand up. And from the second I saw him stand up, I was a fucking fan. Right away. I was like, this dude is the greatest. And then I just love Patrice. Wherever I see his name, I watch it. Because when I watch Patrice, I feel good. He makes me laugh. He makes me fucking belly laugh and shit like that. And think about shit. So it's like, well, his existence, I want more of it, because his existence enriches mine. And
exactly.
That relationship happens all over the place.
Dude, so like, think about how beautiful that is. Like, he's just a guy. Like, you know, you probably could have met him
doing his shit, doing his thing.
And the thing that you're not only were you driven to comedy probably because of it in some ways, but like all because of everything he ever did to get himself to be that person, which is exactly what we're both doing to get to a certain place. And hopefully that's the case for the next people. But that's all it is. It's just existing so well that everybody fucking agrees that you're great.
Bro, trying to live the best way you can ends up helping other people indirectly. Like, you don't have to do anything. You just taking care of yourself and trying to not just fuck up, just trying to be the best version of yourself will have like these almost like, I guess, I don't even know, like side effects, or it's like domino chips. One chip fall and then all the other chips fall, but it's like you start being more whatever the fuck, that's a positive thing, and then somebody that lives with you or that's around you see it, and then eventually it might rub off on them. You know, they might start being like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and build a desk, I'm gonna fucking get a rug or some shit. You don't, like, just whatever. Even you talking about having the thing of like the battle with self-reliance and wanting to be able to take and travel alone and all of that, just by the sheer numbers of people on this planet, there's somebody else going through that same thing, and then you finding the ways to overcome and do the thing, you're gonna be that person's fucking, you know, shining star. Like, I'm gonna do what Dean did because I feel this way and I know about this guy that solved it, so I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah, man. And that's a beautiful thing to get people to think about you, you know, and that's, you know, a little bit of what we live for as comedians, whether we are aware of that or not. But to be, you know, highly regarded and to be,
I think that's past comedians. That's just human in general. Humans want to be remembered and cared about, and, you know,
that's true. But so then so that there you go. And then it's literally like I want to. It's good. It's like I want to be a good person. I want to be good at being a person. I want everyone to think it's like, okay, you walk into a comedy club and it's like, well, I want everyone to think I'm great. Okay, cool. Well, then go be great. Like, are you great at are you great at talking to everybody here? No. Oh, well, then why would they think you're great?
You gotta do the work.
Are you great on stage? Yeah. Oh, are you? Let me see if you're this great. Oh, you're not that great? Oh, well then why would anyone think you're great? It's like, well then, so maybe you're not great. Not yet, but then go work on it.
That's
that. And then build your room.
We gotta do the work, yo. We gotta do the work. And we gotta do the work when we don't want to. When we truly do not want to. When you fucking don't want to. When you don't want to work out, that's the best time to work out. When you don't want to write, fucking write. When you don't want to read, when you don't want to get off Twitter, when you don't want to do whatever the shit is, you do it. That's the thing that's gonna change your life. That's gonna have effect. That's gonna give you the results you want. So we gotta show up when we don't fucking want to.
Resistance, man. It's all resistance.
Gotta resist the resistance.
Well, you gotta be stronger than it.
Yeah, you gotta be stronger than the fucking resistance. Look at that. We done fucking became what did we do today, bro? We fucking motivational speaker. I think we're Anthony Robbins. The two of us together.
What can we say? We're just too
motivational speakers because we fuck up so much that we forget how to not. That's probably what it is. You know, you feel like, hi.
Look, I'm highly motivated to do something good with my life, and
facts,
so if I could pass that to people.
Same, bro. 100%. No matter how much I fuck up, I still want to be dope as hell. I still want to get better. I still want to improve. I just use it as like a catalyst. If I fuck up today, as a catalyst to not fuck up tomorrow.
Yep. Take it like a drug, man.
Yo, bro.
You can take a drug wrong if you don't prepare for it. So
you and these goddamn drugs.
Well, yeah. Drugs are cool, man. Don't do
cool, man.
Kids do not do drugs. How many kids listen to the Slouch Theory, you think?
I have no idea how many young ones are listening, but listen to the young people.
No drugs. Very bad.
I would say look at it like this. Look at drugs for what they are. Just understand them. Don't go into shit all early trying to be cool and then fuck up your mind state. Just give it time. The earth will never run out of drugs. There will always be it. Just wait until you're like 25 and then your brain is, molded at least decently. It's decent. We still stupid at 25, but at least you're not that stupid. You give yourself a chance to not be a fucking bum. And then, mind you, I don't know what I'm talking about. However, just give yourself a chance, son. Drugs is gonna be there. Alcohol is gonna be there. The earth will never run out of it. And if earth run out, America gonna keep short. America, if all of the drugs vanish from earth, promise you, America stole it. This country will have whatever it is that is gonna be here. So just chill out. If you 17, fucking 14, don't be smoking 7 blunts a day. You got mad time to do that, son. Wait, let your brain cook, let that shit develop. And then when you older, maybe you could take a blunt or 2, but chill out, son. Chill. That's all I got for the youth.
I tell the youth, have something to be proud about. And that'll be a good way to guide yourself to something good. Because if you have pride for something, you want it to be good. And also drink green tea.
The right thing. Don't be proud about your set. Fucking don't be proud about your gang. That shit not helping you.
Well, hey man, if you're in a gang, you better be the fucking best gang member.
No, you know what I mean? Don't be the best. Get out the gang and I don't know, go to school, get a job, whatever it is, but get off the fucking block. It's not good. You are going to jail or you going to the casket. You going down, son. It's not good. And the niggas that I know that used to be street niggas that got out of it and they alive and they okay, they got out of it. Every one of them niggas moved out the hood, moved out the state. Like, I mean, they vanished because that's the only way. It's no benefits. You're not gonna be the first motherfucker that's a gangbanger to do it. It's not happening. It's not it's not happening. It's not happening.
Listen, guys, what Andre is saying is just doubtful. Okay, you have to believe in it. Don't let him try to. He just because he can't do it doesn't mean you guys can't.
That's
do it,
right.
Okay?
I can't be the best drug dealer because I'm not cut out for that shit.
Don't let anyone tell you what you can or can't do. Okay. I'm just saying, if you want to be that person, be good at it.
I'm calling the cops. Fuck what you heard. I'm calling the authorities.
He'll call the authorities, and I will ask you to leave me alone forever. Don't involve me at all.
I am not into no street shit. I tell jokes and read comic books. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I tell jokes, and I make fun of people, like everybody. So I'll make fun of gang members too, and you guys just got to deal with that. But like, let's just be chill.
Let's just be chill. Don't beat me up. And go to the Aggressively Chill show on Tuesdays at the Gold Sound Bar.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
that's right.
You like how I did that? I threw a little alley-oop.
That's what I like. To
alley. Yo, Dean, what you got to promote for the people, bro? The floor is yours.
I got right now, it's just the show. It's Aggressively Chill every Tuesday. And we got a page, Aggressively Chill Comedy, on Instagram.
Yeah.
We have a Venmo, Aggressively Chill Comedy. So come by and see if you like the show. Give us, a good amount of money.
Hell
a lot of it, hopefully.
Yeah.
All of it. Give us all your money.
Hell yeah.
Just do it right now. Actually, don't even wait till you see the show. Just go get the money right now. No. Yeah, man.
Bro.
Working on the hour. I'm gonna call it Barely Human.
What was the last thing you said?
I'm gonna call it Barely Human.
Barely Human. I like that name. So there we go. Aggressively Chill at the Gold Sound Bars on Tuesdays. The hour coming, Barely Human, is eventually gonna be available to the listeners and the fans and whatnot. And we did it, bro. That's Slouch Theory. Peace.
Shut the heck